time, Brian. Your name's name that I gun. You need a way to the fire. Tatey with hammer still gunned in the living room. Just a mailbag full, delivering letters. Now I'm dropping that fuel from the 9 to 5 to the Cowboys grind. Turn my voice into a platform. Game time, Brian. Every snap, every play, break it all down. Blue and silver pride, yeah, I rep this town. From the news to the rumors, every hot debate. If it's Cowboys talk, man, I'm never late. They say America's team, yeah, the name holds weight. Five rings deep, and we still chase it. No matter win or lose, I stay locked in. Every game day is game time again. Game time, Brian, put the star in the sky. Talking about the boys till the day I die. From the mail route grind to the YouTube fame. Now the whole world knows my name. Tune in, lock in, yeah, we going live. Cowboys Nation, yeah, we ride or die. Opinions fly, but the passion stays. Every day's game time. Press play. Dak takes the snap, Micah on the chase. Talking O-line, defense, who's making the plays? Trays, rumors, draft picks too. If it's Cowboys news, then you know I come through. No network scripts, just a fan with a voice. Doing this my way, yeah, that's my choice. Breaking it down for the real, no cap. If you're riding for the star, then you know where we at. They say America's team, yeah, the name holds weight. 5 rings deep and we still chase 8. No matter win or lose, I stay locked in. Every damn day, it's game time again. Yeah, top Brian, put the star in the sky. Talking about the boys till the day I die. From the mail rail grind to the YouTube fame. Now the whole world knows my name. Tune in, lock in, yeah, we going live. Cowboys Nation, yeah, we ride or die. Opinions fly, but the passion stays. Every day's game time. Press play. Leg nights, early mornings. Yeah, I built this up. Did it for the fans, never just for love.
Well. Good afternoon. Good early evening, everybody. I hope all is well. What's going on, everybody? Game Time Brian here. Just got done watching some. I caught the tail end of the Dan Spicilio show with Philly 500. And Mark Holmes, and I don't know what Mark does. What did he really say to have Drew and Twiz and all them be just so over the top, man? Come on, man. You can't have it that way, bro. That's Mark at the end of the day is my guy. You can't be that brutal and making personal comments about somebody. I just don't understand why you guys do that. I don't understand. What did Mark say that was so over the top? I don't know. He didn't say nothing about Super Bowl. He didn't say nothing about... I don't know. Help me out here. I don't understand what some of these cats are. They say they're a friend of the channel, but then you just... all this negative Nancy bullshit. But whatever. Welcome, everybody. What's up, Zoom crew? How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah, I mean, I try not to tune into that show because it just gets so negative. And Mark,
I seen it, man. They're just trolls.
It's
crazy.
I
don't know why Mark goes on there to do that.
Well,
to be honest,
I wouldn't because
Philly 500's feeling themselves. They won the Super Bowl. Hats off to them. They're feeling themselves. They're enjoying the moment.
But I just have an issue with guys like Drew who were friends to this channel and. Just going in, like on that side, he's just so over the top. And it's like, all right, dude, don't be fake here then. You know what I'm saying? Don't be nicey nice here if you're going to be over there talking all that shit. So that's all. That's all I need to say. I mean, it's like, just be yourself. And if that's who you really are, then we don't really need you over here. You know,
but the way they act like they won a dynasty or something. Like they like,
listen, that's the problem. We're just... Super Bowls. We get a belly full of this stuff, and it just keeps coming, and it gets old.
It's very disappointing. That's probably, I mean, listen, it is what it is, but it's just unfortunate, man. You can't say you're a friend of the channel and just go over there and just light up, man. It's like nobody said nothing about Super Bowl. You know, I listened to Mark's words. There was nothing that egregious. What did he do that offends people so much? I don't know. It is what it is, but just unfortunate. But hey, if that's who you are, Drew, then stay there, bro. It's fine. Everybody's okay with it. There's no hard feelings, but just don't be here and try and be nice if you feel a certain way. You know, nobody's saying Super Bowl on this side. Linda, name another content creator that has been more nice and like towards the Eagles over the last couple of years as far as the Cowboys. I give them their respect, but that don't mean nothing in this upcoming year. But that's what they do over there. Philly 500, and Mark plays a part in it. Don't get me wrong. He likes it. He likes all the trolling. It's just
he wants the content.
Like when I see some of the real hard negative stuff, it's annoying, man. It's just like what I would like to see everybody else put their personal, self out there like that. But anyway, so Loyal Cowboy, how was your trip to Dallas?
I'm still here right now, actually. I'm here for the week for work, but I did go to the Star, and it was nice, man. I actually seen players. Like I told you, I seen Brooks, and I seen Blue. They were walking around. I was right there with them. But they said that the people said you can't, record them or talk to them. But, I just kind of nodded my head. But, they looked like they were in there, man. I was impressed with that. Their activity, they're practicing.
Yeah,
definitely. They're not on the ship anywhere right now. They're trying to get ready for the season. Timbo?
Yeah. So what did you think of the Star?
Oh man, it was awesome. I did do a virtual interview with Jerry Jones, but
oh really?
It wasn't actually him, but it was a virtual.
Damn, how you do that? Look at you.
But I was asking questions about the cap and all that. They said he couldn't answer that, but he was talking about how I guess he originally wanted to buy the Chargers back in the day.
I did hear that. Or the Rams. One of the two.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the Chargers. So, maybe it was. Yeah.
It was cool, man. Super nice people. I got to see the rings, all that, the Wall of Fame, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
The field was nice, Did go in the locker room, though, because they said there's people practicing, so they wouldn't let nobody in that area.
Yeah.
But, it was cool.
That's cool. How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing pretty good today. I actually feel good today, so that's
a good
positive.
Thing.
Yeah, I'm not hurting today.
You're not all medicated up?
Nope, not medicated up. Just feel normal finally.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hallie Pierce, how are you? How are you, Hallie? What's going on? I'll get to the chat, everybody. Congrats. Logan, what's up, brother? Yes, we're getting to it. The Tush push was passed, and I got the 10 teams that were needed to pass. Dallas Cowboys did not want the Tush push in. It's funny. Most of these teams are AFC teams other than the Eagles obviously voted to keep the Tush push. You had the Ravens, the Browns, the Jags, the Dolphins, the Patriots, the Jets, the Titans, the Saints, Kellen Moore, and the two NFC people are the Saints and the Detroit Lions. Now,
that's surprising.
Rumor has it that the Lions were so pissed that they didn't have the votes to change the playoff seating that they decided to vote for the Tush push. Now, their vote alone would not have mattered. They needed a 24 to overturn the Tush push, and they got a 22. You need a 2/3 vote. So I'm actually glad that the Tush push is staying. They were on 94 WIP going nuts. They were going nuts about how happy they were. Big sigh of relief. I didn't think it was a big deal. I actually thought it would have been better for the Eagles if they didn't have the Tush push, so they would have something to rally behind. But it is what it is. Supposedly they're building a statue about the Tush push. So,
Oh my
goodness. Yeah. they're talking about building a statue about the Tush push.
Is Diddy going to be in the back holding the football?
Hey, Brian, did you hear what they were arguing who the center was going to be on the statue?
Yeah. Lane Johnson or whoever. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Brian.
No, I'm good, bro.
I was just going to say, my thought about that is if you want to do something, stop the dang play. Don't try to vote it out.
Stop the damn thing.
I mean,
stop all the bitching.
I mean, come on. That's the only thing I got to say about that. I mean, God, Lord, if you get a play and you can run that play over and over and do well, you're going to keep running that play.
Yeah, I agree.
Green Bay's eating crow.
Green Bay. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens. But again, something must have happened late because normally teams don't vote unless they know. You don't vote a certain way unless you know you have the votes. You know what I'm saying? So obviously they didn't know they had the votes. So
I'm glad it's still there.
What's that?
I said I'm glad it's still there because you know what? Learn to stop it.
Yeah.
Just go stop it.
Yeah. You stuff it a couple times on the goal line and laugh. That's what
Put
you
about
do.
350 pounders up there and see if they can push it.
No, just put some baby. Start having players put baby oil on their jerseys.
Oh, here we go.
Right.
What's that called? What's that called? The Diddy maneuver?
They'll be sliding around and they won't be able to control it to slide around.
Oh yeah, the Diddy maneuver.
Yeah. Now it's ESPN. I'm just going to read this article real quick or just highlight. Legendary Kansas State coach, 85 years old, retired in coaching. Can't remember exactly what the Wildcats called the play. It was just an add-on to the sneak. He didn't and still doesn't think it was very innovative or creative. It's just a natural thing to do, as far as the tush push is concerned. I mean, what the hell is that noise? Jeez.
I don't know. I was going to say the same.
Jesse.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay, good, because I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I know. He doesn't realize, but it's very loud on the Zoom call.
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the tush push being here. Again, I mean, like, we don't need that excuse. You know what I mean?
No, we don't.
I want to win it the hard way. I don't want no excuses.
Yeah, I don't like the tush push, but I'm glad it's staying because we're going to play rugby now. It is what it is.
Even without the tush push, we do a lot of rugby plays now where guys get behind the runner and just pushes.
My only thing is, okay, then that's good then, because I was afraid that if they were going to overturn it, that when you got down, see, they weren't going to overturn the tush push. They were going to overturn pushing
behind a player that's running forward.
So what I gotta mute you, bro. We hear all the noises in the background. We hear kids in the back. Anyway, the tush push. Yeah, I lost my train of thought because of the kids in the back.
You talking about the runner being pushed from behind after?
Because what would have happened is, all right, any goal line play going forward, if they would have banned the tush push, would have been not counted because, like they would have. I mean, everything would have been a stop them, like stop your momentum. There would be no like goal line touchdowns if there was any sort of pushing. That was my problem. It's football, people. You're going to push, are you not? Especially down in the goal line. If you're going to say, well, you can't come around the player, they do it all the time. All the teams do it at the goal line. Like a quarterback sneak is pretty much a push.
And I guarantee you, if that was the Cowboys, it would have outlawed it.
Oh yeah, of course. But who cares?
If it was us, they would have said no to the tush push.
We need to win something. But on a lighter note, did you guys hear about the in-season
Hard Knocks?
Yes,
Giants? I heard. No, the whole East.
The whole NFC East is going to be. There's going to be an in-season Hard Knock in season, not before the season.
Oh man, I don't want that crap.
No, but it's not just us; it's all 4 teams, right?
I know, but I don't want us to be on there. That's a distraction.
We have. I think we can deal with it better than a lot of these. Yeah, other teams who aren't used to all the cameras around. Dallas is always used to cameras, so.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, we're kid clear now.
We still hear it on the Zoom call. We could hear it, but.
So what you think about?
You're lighting up green. Just look at your phone, Jesse. That tells you.
All right,
what do you think about What do you think about Pickens wearing number 13?
Well, it's only part-time, supposedly. He's only
Yeah,
wearing
that
it for
actually
now.
he came out and said that today. This number is not final.
Who has
So
number
don't get
14? Or he don't want 14?
Mukwamu, is it Mukwamu? Is he Mukwamu
Nah.
or no? It's Marquise Bell.
But I don't
Yeah,
know
Bell
that.
had it.
I don't know. You know, it is what it is. So, Daniel M., I don't care about Hard Knocks, honestly. I enjoy Hard Knocks. I do. I enjoy Hard Knocks. Kelsey went there to act on behalf of the Tush Push. He also said he hated it. Oscar, yeah, that's the thing. He was kind of talking out both sides. He said he hated the play when he was playing, but I think Laurie reached out to him and, hey, it worked. You know, congrats. They get to keep the Tush Push. Again, I'm fine with it. I don't want it to be banned that way. They can revisit it down the road if it's somebody gets hurt. Nobody's getting hurt off the Tush Push. They're trying that to boost TV contracts, which affect the salary cap. Luis Ortiz, 100%. Just like putting Dallas on Hard Knocks is an absolute thing as well. So
Yeah, it brings them money.
Whoa, Leo, Brian, you know who's gonna love Hard Knocks?
who's that?
Your owner.
Of course.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry's going to have
yeah.
the Hard Knocks cameras running into the Netflix cameras. Are they done? Netflix, are they done with Film and Jerry? Do we know?
I don't know, but I know we have a game on Netflix at the end of the year.
Well,
Yeah, Christmas Day against the Redskins.
Yeah, Christmas Day. Yeah,
I
that's right.
disagree with Mark about that as well. Or no, who was it? Who? Oh no, it's Brian Broadus. I disagree with Brian Broadus big time. He said that the Washington game is going to decide the playoffs. I think the playoffs are going to be decided. I'm not saying it won't have something to do with the seeding, but hold up, I got way too much noise in there. So hold up. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, I lost my train of thought because there's all this screaming going on.
You were talking about Christmas Day game.
I don't think Christmas is going to. I think Dallas is going to be on their way. It's going to be one of two ways. Either they're going to win all these close games and be able to be vying for a division win, or they're going to be out of it. I don't think they're going to be hovering. That's just my opinion. What do you guys think about like Christmas Day being the end all be all? Do you think it really is? I mean, it's going to be an important game, but you know, to me, I think Dallas is either going to be out of it or they're going to have. Or see, I don't think there's a middle ground with Dallas this year. I either think they're going to be really good or they're going to be an 8 or 9 win team. Like, what are your guys' thoughts?
I'm gonna stick by my thing. I think they'll be a 10-win team. That's just me. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say, "Oh, we're going to win the Super Bowl." I'm not gonna go that far. But I'll say this.
Super Bowl.
I'll say this. I think we're going in the right direction. I think we're going in the right direction, and we can build off of this year. Hopefully, long as Catboy and Jerry Jones stay out the way and let Shoddy do his job. But that's just my opinion.
I agree. I think that by the time we get to Washington, that's the 16th out of 17th game. I think it's already going to be decided one way or the other.
Well, again, it may be for a division, right? But I don't know that it's the way they were counting it. It's either, well, it could be for a playoff spot. I guess it could be, right? But I'm on the bandwagon that I think Washington might take a step back. Just based on now we got today, you got Terry McLaurin is not going to attend off-season workouts. He wants a new contract. They had no idea why. I don't know. They need to give him a contract ASAP. That's the one thing about Josh Harris. Any of my 76ers fans are well aware of Josh Harris. He's a little bit aloof. He's a little tight with his money. except if you're Joel Embiid. But you know, so yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with Terry McLaurin, but he wants a new deal and he wants it now. So
Well, the Eagles got the Madden curse right now.
well, you know, and I don't. If that were the Cowboys, and I'm surprised, you know, again, I'm surprised Mark didn't bring that up over there. I mean, you know, they're talking about Saquon back-to-back 2,000 yards. They're talking about over 400 carries. Again, that's a tough thing to do. That's
People got tape now, and people build for that.
Yeah,
people build up for that.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
they got a bullseye. The Eagles got a bullseye on their head right now
Hey,
because they won the Super Bowl.
I think the first. Go ahead.
It's
Go
not
ahead.
the bullseye's not on the Cowboys. It's on the Eagles right now.
Well,
Because they
I'll
just won
say
the title.
this about the 400 carries for Saquon. He didn't get hit hard a lot last year, and that makes a difference
No,
on
yeah,
three.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That
he was running a lot of open runs. I mean,
he wasn't
let's
getting
face it.
hit for 3 yards, 3-4
No,
yards
he
past
wasn't
the line
getting
of
hit
scrimmage.
right at the
So,
line. He was
yeah,
getting hit
that's a
down the
different type of
field.
running than
It sure is.
let's say DeMarco Murray or a Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's just a one of one. He's just a beast. But yeah, I mean, if they open the same type of holes last year, then he's gonna have a shot.
He's going to get his.
I think though that the schedule might
Sometimes
be
he
a
wasn't
little
even
harder,
getting hit
but
at
not
all.
against the run. Like I did agree with in one thing Philly 500 said. I mean, that's all a troll show. That's all set up for them to be shit on Mark. But
Hey, Brian. I think for me, my opinion for you guys, your first half of the season is going to depend where you're going to go, either division or wild card, whichever the two.
We got some tough games, man. I mean,
yeah,
the Bears.
we could be out of it. I just
think
don't
the Bears are going to improve.
Yeah, I
That's
think.
what I'm saying.
But you know, we can win a
Packers.
lot of these games, and
We got a tough road.
but
I know
all
that.
the
That's what I'm
teams
saying.
have the tough road. You know who doesn't have a tough road? And I do wanted to get into that while we're on here. Is other teams like the Niners. The Niners is,
Oh, geez.
Oh, they got a cakewalk schedule.
the
we
Niners
should have that
schedule
schedule.
is an absolute joke. Absolute 100% joke of a schedule.
Yeah, they got cakewalk.
Let me see if I can find it here. I know it's on NFL.
Yeah, the talking heads are saying the same things. Like, look at this.
But that's what happens. You got to be able to take advantage of it. I mean, you know, I mean, it is what it is. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Oh, here's Momo, Scary Terry. Momo's in the house.
Unleash the Kraken.
There is the Kraken. The Kraken's eating.
Team schedules. There we go. Momo, what's going on? Before we get into the team schedule for the Niners, what's going on, brother?
Ain't nothing much.
So what's your thought on Terry McLaurin holding out?
That's typical.
He wants to get paid. You got to pay him. He's in the final year of a deal.
Yeah, that's what they do. I am all for players getting all their money, not this bullshit reconstruction contract. If you pay guaranteed money and a player get 5 years, 265, you should get them. They should get 5 years, 265. This is the only league that we don't do this in. Hockey, you get all your money. Baseball, even golf. So we in basketball. So we NFL fans want to criticize the players. So like, no, they should get all their money, every last dime, because they putting their life on the line.
Hockey players are severely underpaid, in my opinion.
True.
You know, so when they get all their money, they take that risk, and you know they risk quite a bit of injury as well.
So-
but that's why NFL players don't get are not fully guaranteed for the most part, is because the risk of getting injured, because of the risk of getting injured.
So if you're gonna pay me less money, you're gonna pay me money, go out there and risk my life, tears my Achilles, and then after I leave football, I can't even walk down the street and I'm on crutches. You should pay these players money because you're doing it for the benefit for the fans and for your entertainment. So I disagree with that. They should be getting paid.
So you think Deshaun Watson's fully guaranteed was a smart contract?
No.
What's up, John?
If he could get
Exactly.
hold on.
Well-
Let me say that about this Deshaun Watson. At the time, it was the first contract I ever heard of that it was fully guaranteed. I was happy that he got all that money up front because I wanted that precedent set that all these players get all their money was guaranteed. And this restructuring of contracts, you will never hear that in any other sport.
Well, do
Well,
you
I got
think
kind
the
of mixed.
Cleveland Browns fans are happy with that contract?
Hell no.
It's not about the fans. Yes, see, that's
Exhibit
what
It's
B.
not.
Well, if they
Who
don't
shows the
go
seats
to
and buys the
games.
merch?
that's what everybody going to y'all want to say is the fans. The fans. It's the fans
Well,
got nothing to do.
Well,
It's about the
look,
individual.
I think it's
Exhibit
kind of
A.
selfish myself. I mean, yeah, they
Look,
should get paid, but
Right.
doggone, don't take the whole don't because you're when you take all that money, you're affecting the rest of the team.
So
Exactly.
so that's not true because they go over the cap all the time. They pay them on the side. So let's be
Okay, well
real.
look at the Browns. Look how it's affected the Browns.
Exactly.
oh yeah.
And Deshaun Watson,
know
he
what?
might not even play another down.
Right.
I mean, because you got all these quarterbacks now. You got
um,
Flacco, you got Shadur, you got the kid from Oregon.
Right.
One of those guys are going to take that spot.
All of
And
them
I'm going to
I
take
combined
agree
isn't
with
ownership of
you.
making
that.
I
what
agree with you.
Deshaun
What you're
is
saying.
making.
Now, if y'all talking about today's football, how football is constructed today with the salary cap, yes, it's not a smart idea to do that. I'm not saying that. I am saying that all players' contract should be fully guaranteed.
No.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
here's what I think, Momo. I think they should have certain tiers for certain players, but doggone, don't take the whole entire cap for yourself. I mean, there should be certain tiers.
No,
Hey,
the
if they just
NFL
get maybe
needs to
the
stretch. Was what NFL needs to take a lesson for the NBA, NHL, and Major League Baseball. They need to take it because everybody who plays that, like that, it's be some great football players who decide, hey, I'm not playing NFL because my money ain't guaranteed. I'm gonna play baseball. I'm gonna play basketball.
But don't y'all think there should be some kind of loophole for the owners to be protected if a player gets hurt
Yeah.
like that, where you
yes,
can drop, half of
yes.
the contract, but you still have to pay it, but you at least lose so much money off of your salary cap, so that Cleveland could be a feasible team for somebody to sign a quarterback or whatever.
Randy,
And
I
at
will.
the same time, Momo, as soon as that guy got his contract for Cleveland,
Right.
all the other owners were pissed. All of them.
Oh, so what? Who cares what they piss? Who cares? Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you about a baseball player. This is why the National Football League NFL union for the players is the worst union of all sports. They laugh at the players union in NFL. Do you know, Bobby? We all familiar with a baseball player who's still getting a check.
Oh yeah.
Bobby Bonilla. He got a
I
check.
think it just ended, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
did end, but you're
Just
right.
ended. But think about this. He been out of baseball how long?
But
10,
hey, that's
15
the
years?
years.
No,
18.
shoot, longer than that.
About 15 years?
You don't
I
think?
would-
Do you think Juan Soto is going to see the end of his contract?
No, no way.
I mean,
He's
no
probably
way in
gonna
hell.
will it to his kids.
Bryce
Well,
Harper has a good
I-
chance, but
not to
he wants to re-up
change the
another
subject,
one.
but I am a Washington Nats fan. I'm a homer. The
Nothing
Washington
wrong with
Nats.
that.
I'm gonna tell you about Soto. Soto don't give a shit about the game. He's about that money. He's not going. He gonna half-ass. He half-assed when he was in Washington. He half-assed when he was at the Yankees. He half-assed wherever he goes. So good luck, people, getting him because he ain't gonna play hard.
He
The Mets
did
was
not half-ass it
finding
with
that
the
out.
Yankees. That's why he got paid.
Yep. He was there. He did
No,
his
he
thing.
was
He did great.
San Diego first. He left
Well, I get
Washington
that,
and
but you
San
just
Diego,
said
didn't
that. But you just said that he half-assed it with the Yankees. He did not.
He did not.
he? No, he didn't hustle in the field. That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the home runs he hit.
Got him paid.
Yeah, exactly.
It did.
Well, that's
Got
why
him
I'm saying
paid.
football players should get fully guaranteed.
No way.
There's
No
no
way.
like that.
The owners not going to agree to that.
Then
The risk of
yesterday,
injury with that,
we was
the
talking
NFLPA
about.
will never go for that.
But
Of
here,
course not,
here's
because the union is weak. If you
well,
have a
here,
weak ass union, this is what you're going to get.
But they
you
tried
can't
to.
you
Momo,
can't
they
give
tried
them
it.
you can't give them full contracts, because then you're going to have people that rehab that don't try to get back as quick.
Mm-hmm. Get the
I mean,
money.
there's going to be some kind of consequences. I agree with you, Momo, that they should get paid because they play the roughest sport, or other than hockey. But I'm telling you right now, they've got to do something. The next contract is going to be one where I bet you there's a stoppage because
Right.
the players are going to have to do something about the salary cap.
Okay. Oh yeah. But can I ask you a question? When I hate the idea that the NFL Players Union don't stop that franchise tag. That's what. That's they should stop that. It's so weak and so bad. The Players Union is so bad right now. They are allowing. They have not spoke up about this push cush issue. What they about the ban? They should be up on the arm saying no. Stop it, NFL owners. Stop it.
Speaking
They
of the
passed
tush
the tush
push,
push. It got
yeah,
passed through today.
yeah.
It
Let
didn't
me
get
read a
stopped.
little bit about that. This is kind of interesting. And Jerry is big time in the. Jerry's big time in the mental warfare of everything. He tempers flare as Eagles defend tush push in heated debate. Debate over the tush push led to a heated exchange between NFL owners and league executives Wednesday morning during the league meetings in Eagan, Minnesota. Multiple sources with firsthand knowledge told ESPN.
Yeah, I read that.
Yeah. Philadelphia Eagles owner Jeffrey Lurie made an impassioned speech in defense of the play. I gotta mute you, Jesse. Sorry. Let's see here. The Eagles and NFL declined comment, but sources close to Lurie told ESPN that he had seen reports from earlier in the day that the tush push was going to be banned, and so he had to figure the odds of the play's survival were long. Towards the end of the speech that lasted close to an hour. Good for Jeffrey Lurie. Lurie made an analogy telling the room that regardless of whether the play was banned, it was a win-win for the Eagles. That's what I kind of thought, that they might have more motivation if it didn't get passed, but if it did get banned, but adding that like a wet dream for a teenage boy to create a play that was so successful that only way to stop it was for it to be banned. After Lurie finished speaking, Executive Vice President of Football Ops Troy Vincent chastised the Eagles owner for the wet dream comment, specifically for saying it in front of women in the meeting. Yeah, that's a little weird, but hey, whatever. Lurie spoke
Can I say something, Brian?
No, not until I'm done. Lurie spoke for several more minutes, adding that whoever voted to ban the play would have taken liability for putting quarterbacks at risk. He criticized NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell and Vincent for advocating the ban, adding that he had spoken to NFL Chief Medical Officer Alan Sills at length about the play. It does not cause injury, number one. So that's a bullshit. I'm sorry. Do I like the play? Like how it looks? No. But I don't want to ban it either. Eagles Assistant General Manager John Ferrari and Eagles star center Jason Kelsey, currently an ESPN analyst, addressed the room. Basically, Jerry Jones asked a few questions. An hour passed, and the 49ers owner judged how much more shit he needed to say, whatever. Let's see. I'm trying to get to it. The Eagles set out Wednesday to address the notion that the tush push led to injury, which one source telling Fowler that there was no data, which is true, to suggest that it causes injury. This is what I wanted to get to. Perspectives on Kelsey's impact on the voting varied. However, as one source told ESPN Brooke Pryor that the former Eagles center speech was generic, other sources described it as spirited. When Jones pointed out potential issues with the play, Kelsey said he understood where Cowboys owner was coming from and agreed on some points. Multiple sources noted to Pryor that it was refreshing to hear about a role and his impact from a player's perspective. Basically, Jones told Fowler, the fun part of having these meetings, and here we are, the world champion is in the main focus of the tush push, and here we are debating it and having to decide, am I really against the tush push, or do I just want Philadelphia to not have an edge? I sit there and fight that too. That's all Jerry was doing. Jerry's just playing the mental game. But it's past. It's over. Stop the bitching. And Jesse, I'm muting you until you're ready to talk. So do you got something to say? Because we're hearing stuff in the background.
There's absolutely nobody here.
Well, there was. I mean, guys, like
There's
now
ghosts
not.
in your house. Then
Yeah, you got ghosts. But anyway, that was the only reason I was muting you.
See?
Hey. Okay, let me say something
Go
real
ahead. Go
quick.
ahead.
I'll make 2 quick points. One, this whole notion about the tush push being banned, it's a rugby. Everybody knows it's a rugby move. It's nothing wrong with the play. There's just some people hating. 2, Troy Vincent, I absolutely have no respect for him. He's an ex-player putting down rules, suspending players, finding players for no freaking reasons. He's been doing this since he's been in that position. So anything he says, go out the air because he doesn't care about the players. Because he sold his soul out. He sold his soul, and he doesn't care nothing about the players. He's an ex-player, knew how it was, and understand how it was, but yet he's selling. Every chance he gets, he's sticking you in with a knife in the back. And the most important thing, and the final thing I want to say, is that actually gonna give the Eagles more motivation on that first game.
Oh yeah, they're gonna decimate Green Bay. Definitely.
Wait, I think they would have had more motivation. Now it's just, I don't think they're going to run it as much. I think they're going to just go out of their way not to run it and say now. And
No, I'm talking about that first game against the Cowboys. That first game.
Yeah, but
I'll be on.
I don't think that's going to be the. I don't think that's going to be the difference maker in anything.
Motivation is the key. The first 5 minutes of the game.
But Momo, you can say the same thing. God forbid one of these players get hurt in that maneuver, and it's gonna
Nobody's
be.
getting hurt.
Listen. We need to stop talking about players get hurt. Players get hurt all the time.
Yeah, but that's going to give the reason. But that's what giving the reason.
That's not the reason why they banned it, though, Jesse.
Yeah.
Rob, are you here? Are you still here, Rob?
No, I'm just letting everybody else talk.
Dude, you tell me there's nobody there?
Rob, I apologize if I offend you any kind of way. I apologize.
No offense at all, my man. We're talking football, and you're entitled to your views, man.
No,
I'm
Rob,
good with it.
Is anybody getting hurt with the tush push?
No, there hasn't been any medical.
That's the thing. Nobody's getting hurt with the tush push.
Right. Yeah, no one's getting hurt with the tush push. There's no medical evidence out there showing anybody getting hurt with the tush push.
Again.
They said they made a big deal about Chris Jones in the Super Bowl, like having some neck pain or something after the tush push. But if you notice how he lined up horizontal instead of vertical. So he didn't even line up like a traditional way that you line up. So him getting hurt he brought that on himself in the sense because he lined up horizontal like if he was some kind of wall where his team was supposed to push him. It was silly.
People are trying to compare it to blocking the back. What do they call that? They used to call it clipping or
yeah.
No, but
or
what's it
pushing
called?
The back.
Illegal block from the back.
Yeah, but what's the name that they banned? The where you're engaged and then somebody comes and hits you low.
Oh yeah, that's
I can't think of the name of it.
It's a personal foul, clipping.
But it's something else.
Chop block.
That's it.
Thank you, Jesse.
Thanks, Jesse. Chop block. People are trying to. Again, it's not anywhere near a chop block. It's just not. There's more. Any goal line play. Ask any football player that's ever played the game. Any goal line play or any pile, like if there's a fumble, it is so nasty. It is so nasty what goes on. And under the pile, that the tush push is the least of everybody's concern. Am I wrong or what?
No, you're exactly right. You know what I think the tush push
People
is?
breaking fingers and shit under there.
It's advanced quarterback sneak with a great offensive line in front of you, period. That's all it is. Stop
a great offensive line and a great quarterback who
can run,
very powerful, who can squat 600 pounds. That just uses his leverage and uses his lower body just to push him.
It's a shoving maneuver, basically.
Yeah. So if you want any rugby game, or have watched any European rugby or Australian football,
Bill Cosby,
you will see that is exactly what it is.
Eat some Jello pudding.
Well, if you want to stop it, just keep them from getting 6 or 7 yards on the first 2 downs, and they have to either run it or throw it.
Wow, isn't that something? Don't let them get a 3rd and
1 or 2.
well, I think they could get 3rd and 2 every time. But you
Now,
know,
here's another thing. We all know when a quarterback sneak, right? And a lot of times the quarterback don't even make the first down, but the referee marked the ball. And it's like for Tom Brady for years said he didn't get the first down, and he didn't get and he got inches. It'll be 4th inches, and he'll get it. And he a lot of times he didn't get it, but the referee will just mark it for a first down because they
Tom
don't want
Brady
to.
was a damn good quarterback sneaker too. I mean,
Yeah,
that guy
yeah,
was
yeah,
one of
and
the
he
yeah,
best
because
wasn't
he
guys.
knew how
athletic
to
or
go
nothing.
between
He
the
was
No,
just
but
lines.
he just knew
yeah,
where to go.
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you got to be smart and not just go. There's a
It's not
certain
about
amount of
being physical
patience.
when he does it,
Yeah.
because he's not a physical guy anyway. So he just, okay, it's a crack in here in between this line. I'm just going to slide myself and fall down.
It's a feel thing, you know. I
But
don't know.
I think
Yeah.
where I lost, well, I mean, I didn't really have much respect for McDermott, but for McDermott to sit there and plead that it's such a dangerous play, and he's worried about players' health. It's like, dude, you're only bitching because your quarterback couldn't get it the 4 times that they tried it in the AFC Championship game. I mean, they looked so confused out there when they tried the tush push
Well,
and didn't get
that's
it.
why I
And
kind of
it's
love Jerry Jones.
hypocrisy.
That's kind of why I
That's
love Jerry
hypocrisy.
Jones. Jerry Jones is like, am I upset about the tush push or just trying to get an advantage against the Eagles? He is
At
the
least he's
ultimate
upfront
gamer.
about it.
He will
I
come right
respect
out
it.
and tell you. He's not trying to make lies and say, is it? He don't give 2 shits
Right.
about it. He's
And I
just playing
respect
the
that.
game. And he was actually laughing, and he's like, well, am I really upset or do I just want to get an upper hand? That's
Right.
gamesmanship at its greatest, and it'll be fun. I mean, you're on the 5-yard line. It's 3rd down. Are you going to pass it? I mean, I think Eagles can get it there too. It is what it is. Stop the
Right.
effing play. Stop
That's
it.
Exactly. Stop it.
That's
If you don't
it.
like it, stop it.
I mean,
Yes.
and I know we're talking a lot about the tush push, but let's be honest, it's a huge issue. And then, the next issue is the Lions withdrew their request to have. Now, again, I know I sound a little overreacted, but I just hate the idea. I don't like the current playoff structure as it is. Be honest with you, people. I don't like. To me, you got to come up with a better system. Add more playoff weeks. You need to have multiple teams get a bye week, not just the number 1 seed. Now the Eagles did it last year. I give them a lot of credit. They were the number 2 seed. They didn't get a bye, right? They had to ultimately. Can you mute yourself, Jesse, please? I know, Jesus. I'm sorry, but that's all we hear,
That's all right.
guys.
No, that's not you, not you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
Hey Jesse, maybe do you have your volume on your YouTube portion as well? Maybe it's just feedback from your YouTube screen and your.
Guys, am I hearing it alone, or do you hear it?
I hear it too.
Okay,
I hear it's
I'm
like-
not trying to be mean, Jesse. I love you. I'm just saying, if you're not talking, mute, then unmute. That's the best thing I could tell you. You're not the only one. Thomas does the same thing, except he has some sort of kickback on his. I think he's actually listening to it, like Rob's saying. But the thing about what Detroit wanted to do, the Lions wanted to redo the seedings. I think if the Eagles win a division, they should host a playoff game. I don't know. Am I wrong in this, or do you think? Listen, I don't care how you guys feel either. I can disagree with you without being. I could disagree without being personal. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. What am I wrong, or do you think you should if Eagles or whoever wins the NFC East, should you not be guaranteed a home playoff game?
Well, what's the incentive then if you don't win your division? If you win your division, what's the
I guess
incentive?
they would say you're in the playoffs. To me, that's
Here's what I think. I think that all the 4 teams that win the division should be in there. The top 2 teams should get the buys, and then the 4 runner-ups in the division should get in the playoffs. That's how I feel.
So you go from you would add a playoff team, Will?
8
Yeah.
playoff teams.
I don't
Eight
know
playoff
how, because
I don't think that's that bad of an idea.
Well, because it
one and
has
two
to
would get a bye.
mathematically work, guys. So I haven't really worked the numbers. I can sit here and say, but I agree with you. But would that mathematically work, though, Rob? If you added a playoff team and still kept the number 1 and number 2
You have to
getting
keep
a
up.
bye, you would run out of weeks, wouldn't you? I mean, I don't know.
You would have to extend it out another week, especially if the top two get a
Well,
bye.
Yeah, you have to have an odd number of teams in the playoffs on each side
Right. So
for
you'd have
that
to
to
have
work.
9. You'd have to have 9, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would be more willing to do that than to leave the current system. I know it sucks, people, but I got news for you. If you're an 8-9 team, like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were, or whatever the hell they were, and we went in and beat that ass, okay, on the road, that's what a good team's supposed to do. Now, we went the next week and choked, but that has nothing to do with going in and taking care of business. We were the better team, Dallas. We went in and beat Tom Brady in his last game. Yeah, I get it. They weren't great, but they were still a home playoff game. Isn't the easiest thing to do. We've seen many times in history where a home playoff team that's not good upsets somebody. But Dallas did what they had to do in going on the road and beating Tom Brady. That's what you have to do. Now, please remind me what happened last year. Because Detroit is adamantly against the current system. Did Detroit have to go to Washington, Rob, or no?
No,
So what are they bitching about?
they're the number 1 seed.
They're just sour about losing
Sour
last
just
year.
losing
That's
the
all.
way they
But,
lost.
But I mean, at what point
team
was
was
that an
injured.
issue for them?
Well,
They
honestly,
lost at home.
in my opinion, we've been what 6-7 months now or 5 months. I don't know how long, but anyway, get over it. I mean,
I
it's
think
it's
they
a loss.
I think they, Randy, I think they still, not to interrupt you, I think they still hurt because Washington beat them.
Well, I
But-
think they're
Yeah,
hurt
exactly.
because they didn't
No,
go to the Super
absolutely.
Bowl.
But I
They're
mean,
in
what
their
does that have to
feelings.
do? I just don't understand. Why are we doing this? If Eagles win a division, like if my team wins the division, if Dallas wins the division, I won a home playoff game. That's all that's fair.
Yeah, I feel that's deserved. Yeah, even if like the Eagles would win it,
You were
I would want
taught,
them to
Joe.
get
You were always
playoff game.
taught to win your
Okay.
division. You want to get in,
Brian,
win your
I
division.
think they're just sour on how they lost. I think that was their window. They
That's
thought
exactly.
that
That's
was
a
their
tough
best
team to root
chance of
for.
winning.
I got news for
Right.
you. I know Ultra's not in here right now, but Ultra was big on the Lions, and so was I. But you know what? I can't root for them. The Lions are just a fraudulent franchise. No wonder they haven't won a Super Bowl ever.
That's what I mean. That's what I was going to say too. because they
They're
have
just
to-
I think the coach is fine. I think the players are fine. I think it's the organization is bitching. I don't think the coach is.
I just think they went in there thinking they were going to roll Washington, and they didn't roll Washington, and they got their ass beat. And all their fans were, even if you watch the pregame show before that game, even the fans were saying, "We can't wait to get to the Super Bowl." And I'm thinking, man, you're really talking a little bit early before you.
They were drooling. They were
Yeah.
drooling.
And they got their asses whipped. Is what happened.
Yeah.
And what Washington did in that game. So what happened in that football game? I'm a diehard Washington fan, but that play where one of their best corners basically broke his arm, that was the game. He was their best defender and best. He hurt his arm, so two people got hurt on that play. And
they already had
I
injuries.
think the
too.
game was already over with.
Yeah,
I
they
do
already
too.
had injuries.
The game was over with pretty
Game
much
was
from the
done. They got
get-go with
outplayed.
all of
They
their
got
players
outplayed.
on IR on defense.
Yeah,
And
I
their
agree with
secondary-
you.
Their secondary was praised to be more than what it was.
Yeah,
And I
I
agree with you. That
agree.
injury hurt them. But, I mean, that game, they wouldn't have won even if he didn't get injured.
Yeah,
Well, Washington was
agree.
just a better team.
You
Right.
could tell by the first half they were outplayed.
because they I'm not bragging or anything like that, but it seems like they had no answer to my not only Jaden but the wide receivers for Washington.
When you get to
their
that
whole
type of
defense is on
game,
IR.
when you get to that type of game, there is no questions. Either you play or you go home.
Right.
And they went home. Period. That's the way I look at it.
Right. But
Nope.
I was game time, I was thinking you were saying something about restructure. Some people want to restructure a team that goes 7-9
What do you mean?
and wins division.
Well, if you're the best team in your division, you should win your division. I mean, what are you talking about?
Okay, so you find with a team 7-9 playing
Yes.
and
Yeah, the
having a home game.
division's got to get
Look
better.
at the NFC South. Look at the NFC South. What
Yeah,
was
I
it?
do. I think if you win a division, you should get a home playoff game. And like I just got done saying, we went in and beat a bad Tampa team who did that very thing. Dallas had 12 wins, 13 wins, I think, that year. And we had to go in and we play. Maybe it was 12. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
It was 12 wins.
Dallas had to go into Tampa and beat a bad Tampa team. And that's what you got to do. You know.
You did what you were expected to do.
That's
for
that's
sure.
the thing.
I agree.
It's fair. Like if you, this is how I'll put it to you. If you're a season ticket holder, Momo, and your team wins your division, right? You're expected to be able to have a home playoff game, make memories as a fan. You're entitled to that. Now we got a team who's coming in here and they're saying, well, no, you can win your division, but because we're in a division. Like Minnesota racked up a lot of wins. They racked up a lot of wins last year.
On the road to LA. Yep.
And they weren't that great. We kept saying it, but we kept looking at the record going, wow, the record says they're good. No, they weren't that great. And LA put boot to ass. So it's just
I think Minnesota every year people are praising them.
Well,
and every year they fall
They
flat in their face. They fall flat in their face. When they had Kirk Cousins. So I'm a person who know how fake, well, I won't say fake. I would say that Kirk Cousins is a type of quarterback. He'll put up big numbers, and then he come down to it. He's not that very good.
He's a mercenary.
Because just think about it. I was on when Robert Griffin got hurt and he replaced him, and then that's those seasons where he had these crazy numbers. People keep as a fan, I say, well, yeah, he got 357 yards, but we getting blown out 38-10. Now the defense lacks, and now he's throwing for another 200 yards because they in a prevent defense.
Hey, Momo, but at the same time, your team paid an arm and a leg for that guy. Kirk Cousins?
Who?
Kirk Cousins, when he went over there?
Yeah, he made a lot of money in the league. He definitely.
I just think franchise tags.
I just think that you've got 17 games to win your division or go to the playoffs. If you fail to either win your division or not go to the playoffs, it's your fault. Stop all this bitching and whining. If you're at home, you're supposed to win. Don't talk about it. Go out and do it. Otherwise, shut up.
Yo, Randy, what's that old saying, Randy? You play to win the game.
That's right.
I have the drop, but I'll leave that be. What's up, Primetime Phil? What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. All of a sudden, I just see that you guys are online talking a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
It's
me. All of you guys are talking shit.
I know we're not Phil. I was waiting for you to come here so we could talk shit to you.
We didn't say nothing about Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon
that would be
the mutts. Oregon mutts.
Ex-Oregon quarterback has joined us. Listen, Phil.
What's up, dude? What's up?
The Tush push, bro. We've been talking about that. I know ad nauseam. People are tired of talking about it. But
Tushy pushy.
It's here to stay. And Jerry Jones, it basically got up and said, "Well, I don't know that so much I'm against a Tush push. I'm just all for."
Here's my thing. Here's my thing.
Making it harder for the Eagles.
I'm confused. Was it banned or was it not banned?
No, not banned.
It's legal.
Not banned.
So I am one of those people that say do not ban it, but you should allow the linebackers to push up on the linemen and push, because if it's the other way around, there's a flag. So you can't jump over linemen, do all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to counter that, yes, linebackers can't jump over the line of scrimmage.
On the field goal in an extra point, but not during a regular play.
No, they can't do that no more.
No, they can't. They weren't able to do that anymore. They flagged them a couple of times for trying that stuff.
Yeah, it's a rule. It's a penalty now if you jump over.
Yeah, so they can't do that. They can't touch on their linemen.
No, I didn't know they changed that either.
So my thing is why?
Yeah.
If you're gonna stop that,
counter. Yeah, just go ahead and let the linebackers and them do that. I don't think.
Like if you're athletic enough, I'm not saying.
Are you taking shit out of the game?
Exactly. If you're athletic enough to jump over a damn line and go.
So what is the penalty? I don't mean to interrupt you, Game Time. I just want to
baiting. It's sort of like baiting to the quarterback. you had a run.
Yeah, you just because of injuries. Oh, you can land on the line and you can do this and stuff like that. They put this. They implemented this a while
I know
ago.
the ones with
don't care about
leverage. They call it a
injuries.
leverage penalty where, but I thought that was only on field goals and extra points.
So did I. I'm with Rob.
Randy, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
There's
I didn't know
no
they had changed the other rules.
There's no penalty for the safety to push the linebacker into the D tackle into the.
Now, I saw a whole debate on it as well. I mean, from NFL people talking about it. So, I mean, this in general. I
think we need to be understandable. The NFL don't care about injuries.
Yeah,
they care about the money
get
and
your
exposure they can get. It's not about the injuries.
Hold on, go ahead. Let's get defensive tackles in there that can actually block it. You know, like
that's what I was saying.
If you're really then just put like a center's there. You can put 2 defensive tackles on top of that center. You can put two defensive tackles on top of that. You can like to me, it's very blockable. You just have to have the personnel to do it. And nobody's had it. So
Phil, that would be considered like a reverse tug of war.
But you're right, Phil. You put a couple of 300
just step up.
Well, you put a couple of 330-pound linemen right there beside your nose tackle, and you all go at one time.
Yeah. So to me, I mean, again, I haven't seen anything in that penalty wise where it's been called on the tush push. I think at one time or so, I think it was on Fred Warner, but before. But again, I don't see anything on it. I mean, if it was something really huge, wouldn't other teams be wouldn't be trying to counter it as well? Wouldn't be trying to actually duplicate it? I mean, isn't it like the Wildcat offense?
That's what I say. I mean, why are they the only ones doing it?
Yeah. And that means you don't have the personnel to do it. That's
Well,
I think we're the only ones doing it successfully.
I was mad when they I know some of the players want them to put a rule in when you got these guys got these long dreads and you grab my hair and bring me down. I said, man, don't tuck it in your helmet.
Don't grow your hair. Yeah, I remember for a while there they would flag them for allowing it when it grew past their name. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then they took that away. They're like, okay, we can, can't do that. That's freedom of expression.
I was not happy with the rule. It was many years ago, or some years ago, whenever it was, when they the horse collar. I enjoyed the horse collar.
The horse collar.
Yeah, I enjoyed the horse collar until somebody got hurt.
That was Lawrence Taylor's favorite move. The horse collar.
I don't like the horse collar. I'm not big on it, but I definitely do not like it when they throw their body on top of the back of the leg.
Oh,
that's the part where I don't like the horse collar the most.
Or they take your whole body weight.
Yeah, the TO one. Yes, the Roy Williams one. That was what Roy Williams was known for, other than hitting hard. That was like the thing.
That was his move. That was
there was 3 moves that Roy Williams had. It was hitting hard, the horse collar, and the missing a coverage.
That's
pretty much.
That was LT's insignia.
That sums it up.
That's Theismann.
No, but I really liked him though. I was at the same time, man. I was a big Roy Williams.
I thought the horse collar was fine until Roy. Cause what Roy did with it, he just put all his body weight behind you and
he revolutionized
your legs because he was trying to hurt you. Because Roy was out there trying to hurt you.
He's all like,
what's
the point of it being a horse collar if you're nobody's trying to ride at the other person? Why am I a cowboy if I'm not trying to ride him?
Right. Hey, so game time. What are your thoughts of what I sent you earlier? As far as with the rankings.
Yeah, I had sent a Fox rankings that had Dallas. I don't get caught up in it, but like Drew didn't really like a lot of the Pro Football Focus stats, that were favored the Cowboys. You really can't pick and choose. I guess it had Dallas. I don't know, like their tandem, like way down. I guess I didn't really.
I've never trusted PFF.
My thing is, if we're going to use PFF, then we're going to use it and stick with it. You know what I mean? Because the PFF has been generous to the Cowboys offensive line, the Cooper Beebe, so. But I also have one that says that we're number 3 in the league. Yeah, Fox Sports did a poll. I sent it to Drew. So again,
the 3. I thought I saw it had you at 5.
My God, we ain't even had training camp yet.
Yeah, I know. That's why I like try not to get into that in May. But yeah.
You know who they had in 4th? I think was it
2025 QB rankings. They got Dak at 17, I think. And Trevor Lawrence ahead of him, Kyler Murray, C.J. Stroud, Baker Mayfield.
Wait, I'm just saying, Dak Prescott never won a national championship.
Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Geno. They have Geno Smith at number 10. So
that's a justified reason. I mean, to me,
Jared Goff, Justin Herbert. I don't think he's ever won a playoff game. I don't think Dak or the Cowboys have ever lost to Justin Herbert. But hey, Jaden Daniels, I could see that. Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
So it is what I take it with a grain of salt, just like the one I sent Drew where it has power rankings and it had Dak and as a number 3, Dallas and. It was Dak and the wide receivers. I don't know. I sent it to Drew. I don't even care. It was a joke. I was sending it back at him. You could find a stat for everything. But if that's what we're going to use, Rob, Pro Football Focus, that's fine. We just, as long as we know ahead of time, that's what we're going to use.
You better play that stat.
I have a question for y'all guys.
What's that?
What y'all think about this new offensive lineman award they just announced?
What is that?
Protector, hold on a second.
I like it. I would give those big men some recognition, man.
It's called Protector of the Year Award.
I
can see a few centers getting that.
I think it's dumb.
They're left tackles. Right.
I don't think that's a good name for it.
I think it's weak. I think it's dumbass.
It's all about the left tackle.
More like the Protector Prophylactic Award.
They should put Whitney Houston as the bodyguard on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Over the music.
Yeah, Mouse. I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, I was ready to move on from Dak, so I don't care where they have him rated in May, but I think it's whatever. It is what it is, man.
So who's a good offensive lineman? So many offensive linemen won't be up for that Protector of the Year award. Well, that don't even make sense.
It's got to be like a Mailata or
Lane Johnson.
Well, left tackle. I think it's more left tackle.
Yeah, it's called All Pros and Pro Bowls.
So.
Yeah, it would have to be the left tackle because he's the one. It's his blind side.
Well, not necessarily. Not if you're left-handed quarterback, right?
Sure, but how many are there?
Yeah,
lefties and righties.
Not many. So Hard Knocks will feature the Bills for a first time in franchise history.
Ooh, should have been Cleveland Browns.
Drew loves the Micah
that would have been the drama.
shake.
That would have been the drama.
What the fuck?
Let the Browns hurt.
God damn.
Well, I think the Browns,
I just
because
yelled
the
at
Browns
Drew
that
for being mean to Mark. Now, come on.
There'll be a lot of closeness to Doris' father.
What kind of drama could they do with the Buffalo Bills? Nothing.
What am I going to wear today outside?
The Buffalo Bills.
Bills Mafia.
A blue jacket, an orange jacket, a red jacket. You can have them in any color.
The Bills are the only team.
No shirts on.
The Bills are the only team in the NFL
that agreed.
Oh, Phil.
That is favored in every game this upcoming season.
Hey, Phil. You'll be like this. Get the table.
Yeah.
Are they scheduled to play KC, Brian?
I'm not even sure. I could find out. But Rob, tell everybody what Tell everybody what a line is in May. What that really means.
Nothing.
Last year, again, Dallas was favored in all but like 3 games. How'd that work out? So again, it don't matter.
Yeah, but by the end, by halfway, how many were we favored by then?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, as we sit here now, Buffalo's the only team there's one team in the NFL who's favored in every game. Do you really think Buffalo's going undefeated? There ain't no way in hell they're going undefeated.
My question: Who gets together? Who's the masterminds that get behind
Vegas Vic?
It's got to be Vegas.
It's probably a bunch of 16-year-olds.
not that picks, not those picks. I'm talking about picking the team for Hard Knocks because that's got to be like, I mean, the only other boringest team you could probably put out there is probably maybe the Arizona Cardinals or some shit.
Did you hear that? The NFC East is going to be featured in a in-season Hard Knocks, but not just Dallas, like every team.
Well, because they expect all of us to be contenders in some way, or we're all going to be hurting because
They
we all
don't
got a
know
shitty
Dallas is gonna be
schedule.
contenders. They just like
Yeah, we might beat each other up. Is
yeah,
what
they
it
just
Yeah, I mean,
want to
but
show
either
the
way,
shit
we're
show
boo-boos.
that's
See all the
Dallas or
boo-boos.
whatever. It's
Well, I think the Browns should
50-50.
have hard knocks
Why?
because
That's what I
of the
said.
quarterback competition.
I
Because
agree.
you got
Exactly.
you got all these quarterbacks, and you got to figure out who's going to make the team.
And you can't tell me
I
that.
think the
then
Browns.
you
Hey,
never
Laura,
know.
what's special? Laura,
That would
what's
be
special prima
hilarious.
donna?
Hey Jesse, you know what would be hilarious? If they
What?
did Cleveland and Shador call his dad. I can't start. I'll be
I'm
right
telling
with this.
you. I'm telling you. That's what I said. Starring
Mark,
Deion
this is your
Sanders.
safe space. This is your safe space, Mark. I saw some of the comments. You were getting
Mark's
ripped
in it?
up, brother. Sorry about that. He don't
Piranha
care. Mark
food.
loves it. He's just like, as long I don't care if you love me or hate me, as long as you're watching.
Just watching me. Yep.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
That's all that
about
matters.
it. Me, I'm a little more like, dude, but I don't like you guys hate me. You may not like my takes, but you know.
Hey, I embrace the hate because people hate on me all the time, so it don't bother me.
Ultra
Hate on
likes
I
me.
laying
concur.
into
I
you.
concur, Momo.
Oh yeah, I'm all knowledge until the one person hears something they don't like and then feels the stupidest person out there.
Oh yeah, but you don't mind it either. You don't.
No, I
mind
don't
it.
mind it
I
at
don't
all.
mind.
I'm very used to it from the line of scrimmage. I heard a lot worse.
I
in
know
the
I
line
didn't
of
invent the
scrimmage.
game, so
Yeah,
if I want
to
to
do something to your mama, and I'm like, oh my
if
god,
I want to talk to
man.
smart people, I'll go to guys like Rob and Randy. But
Appreciate it, brother.
you know,
Appreciate it.
I
Thank
mean,
you.
listen, yeah, just because we are on the opposite sides of the
Yeah,
fence,
that's
that
I
don't
got
mean
my
I can't.
I got Drew who put a little hate on me, a little whatever. I
A
don't think he
lot of
hates me.
hate. Drew spreads a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Oh, Drew just be medieval.
Drew and Ultra need to
Ultra
fight
just
it out.
forget about it. Oh, the Ultra's your watchdog, Brian.
Yeah, they get that celebrity death match going on. Let's get it on.
Yo!
It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter at this point.
It's only words, right, Drew?
Yeah.
It's
I
only
must say
words.
though, Ultra comes up with some funny shit though. I mean,
Oh
this dude
yeah. He just
he's so
out of left
fucking
field.
random. He's hilarious.
Yeah, when you get when you get on something.
I know you're
No.
joking, Drew. I was just playing in the damn Tilio chat. I was poking
So
fun.
the person who made this, I think who was what's his name?
Who's that?
The person who made this new rule, Troy Vincent, gave credit to the Buffalo Bills left tackle Deion Dawkins and retired offensive line tackle Andrew Whitworth for pushing for the creation of the award.
Well, I think it's lame.
I do
I think
too.
Lane Ward too.
All right.
Just give me
I'm
more
sorry.
money if I'm doing well. Don't worry
I mean-
about the award.
Unless there's a
Momo,
bonus in for it.
Yeah.
Well,
Momo,
Or
just give him a golf-
what they get a car? They get a Mercedes
No.
Benz.
Momo, Momo, they give him a golf clap.
Well, I know
Yeah.
that these athletes are pretty much always used to rejection for their whole life, so this is a good thing for them. Yeah,
Yeah.
going all the way to the
Motivation.
NFL, making it to college, getting sports scholarships, all that. Yeah. I'm sure their life is really rough, so they need another freaking award.
Right.
Phil
$12 million
comes in
a
here
year.
hot. I love it.
Yeah,
How was work today, Phil?
And I love my linemen, man. Trust me, I would take them out to dinner. That's expensive. You know how expensive it is to take linemen out to dinner all
I'm
the
sure
damn
it
time.
is, especially
Ask
where
the
you go
rookies.
eat.
Ask the
Yeah,
rookies.
exactly. I'm just like, dollar menu, guys.
Yeah, we're going to Taco Bell. Even Taco Bell ain't cheap anymore.
Shit, McDonald's a good pain in the ass.
I mean, you used to be able to get a lot of food at Taco Bell. Now
I remember junior bacons were like 99 cents. Now they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
shit. Yeah.
That
It's
was high school lunch back in the day.
So,
Oh, God.
so the
Why?
offense, the defensive line, the defense guy from Atlanta, his son did that prank on Shador Sanders.
Oh,
He spoke today, and he said he never felt so bad, and
Yeah,
but his
what were you
support
thinking?
from the organization gave him a lot of support because he never.
What were you
that's-
thinking?
He got tore up on Facebook. He got tore up in social media. That's why.
I mean, that's the thing about it is how do
He's
you go
young, that's
from
his
a
problem. He
shitty
don't
job
know.
with the Jets and running that organization to now I feel shittier because I let Sanders number leak and stuff. So
Yeah, that's probably more of the the issue.
well, it wasn't just Sanders, right? It was a couple of athletes. It wasn't
It was
just,
It was like three athletes, 3 or 4 of them.
All right, let's
Right.
look at the regular season just real quick for the Bills. We'll get out of here in
Here
about
we go.
15 minutes.
let's predict their wins and losses.
Well,
right
no,
now.
because
Oh,
they're
yes, please.
because they're favored in every game per
Lost.
Vegas.
What's their first game? How about that? What's their first game?
The Ravens. That's a loss.
Right there off the bat, I'm giving you a loss. How you gonna?
It's over.
The Ravens will be fully healthy right there.
And they always struggle against the Jets too, by the way.
At the Jets, home against the Dolphins on Thursday night. That that could be a loss.
That's a
All right.
blowout. The Dolphins
Home
ain't
against the
got
Saints.
nobody.
Wow, look, they got three,
Oh,
4, and
come on.
5. Look at that. Home
Where's that
against the
schedule?
Dolphins, home against the Saints, home against the Patriots. Okay, all right. At the Falcons, Monday Night Football. Bye week 7 bye. At the Panthers, home against the Chiefs. So they're favored against the Chiefs, which I understand, but at the Dolphins, okay.
They played
Home
the Chiefs
against
pretty
Tampa.
good in the regular
Yeah.
season.
I was gonna say the Chiefs need to improve. I mean, let's be real. Like as much as yes, they get to the Super Bowl and everything, a lot of it has to do with their quarterback, but there was some stuff that was iffy about that team going towards the end of that season. And I feel like, again, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to compare Mahomes a little bit to LeBron here. He probably pushed a team that wasn't supposed to be there a little bit more than what.
Yeah, he's a force multiplier. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and so now you're going against a team that's stacked, and you have to do it again, and you're not going to be able to do it.
I don't think this
other people
is
need to
that
step up.
easy of a schedule. Home against Tampa, at Houston, at the Steelers, home against the Bengals. I mean, that's not.
Bengals give them problems too.
All right. At the Patriots, at the Browns, home against the Birds, and then home against the Jets. So.
Well, I will say this about the Steelers. I think this year, if they could become below 500 as end of the season, Tomlin ain't gonna have that job.
Or he'll retire.
No,
Oh, you think so, man? I don't know, man. I think they'll die before. I think he'll die on the field.
He's grandfathered in that position.
Yeah,
But they only have three coaches in their franchise history, right?
That's not the way they do things there. He's a made man. He's
Phil
won
has a
8
good
Super
point.
Bowls.
Claude Hunt. Yes, he does.
They only had 3 coaches in the whole entire franchise.
Yeah, it's not been very many.
That's crazy.
I don't see how they
That's
could be
crazy.
favored against the Eagles.
How the hell?
Yeah, they play the
It's
Eagles
early.
the
It's
16th
early.
game.
They have a too young.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. They
Let me
shouldn't
just
even
tell
be
you,
having.
though, where I thought we would be and where we ended up and how our season
Oh,
went.
that's
You don't know
I know
how
why
it's
they
gonna
favor
go,
it. That's
guys.
Football Focus because they always get it wrong.
Well,
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah,
again,
Ultra,
Pro
but he
Football
shouldn't have been
Focus,
there.
They crunched the numbers. So you got to be honest with that. But I got to think that that was more of a projection with the Dak
don't know how
thing.
you-
But
Yeah,
whatever.
that was Skip Bayless's favorite little paperwork.
Who
Little
knows?
football focus.
Don't
I
say
don't see
nothing. He
any
might be
league
coming. He might be
where-
a member of this chat. He might come up
Who's
here.
that?
Oh Jesus!
Who's
Skeet
that?
Bells.
I will get rid of my membership ASAP.
I actually like Pro Football Focus. I just,
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't,
Skip.
I don't have a problem
We're
with
talking
it.
about Skip Bayless. That's who we're talking
Oh,
about.
Skip
That was
Bayless.
a douche.
Fuck
If
He
he
comes
was,
on your, if he comes
he
your
was
member,
a member of your channel. That's what they were saying. You would
Fuck
lose
Skip
a lot
Bayless.
of members.
The
I'll
Crypt
just
Keeper.
leave.
I'll get rid of him right away.
Like
'cause I'll
blocks,
call him
Ban
out.
Don't
him,
worry
ban
about
him, ban him.
He was the one
Mark
that was
loves him
saying.
some Skip Bayless.
I'll even refund
Yeah.
you your $4.99. You son of a.
Same here.
He was the one that said
It's
Trippin
you're
was gay.
$4.99.
Right,
Oh,
He
that's
was
a lot of
banging
money.
Lori Morgan.
Brian.
All right, somebody turn off their.
So what about
car.
Stephen A? Would you accept Stephen A?
Oh God, this
They paid
works.
in the ass.
Yeah, I would. Because I know
He's
he's
my
all
hero.
fake.
He's my hero.
He's
Hooray!
fake.
He's entertaining.
He is entertaining.
He's entertaining.
Yeah, there's something. There's
He should be in the WWE or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Skip
Talking
let him fight
about,
Bayless
Skip.
is as cringy
well,
as
then
Bill
you got
Cosby.
LeBron
No
over
offense,
here, and
Bill
he's
Cosby.
you know, like that would make more sense.
Skip.
you know?
Skip.
That's why Pat McAfee does a good job in the WWE.
Yeah, that's funny. That's
Oh,
funny.
McAfee got his ass
McAfee,
kicked.
I love Pat
McAfee is the
McAfee.
man. Yeah.
I love Pat McAfee. He's
Dude,
funny.
that guy is everywhere. He's like Ryan Seacrest of the NFL shit.
Pat
Like
McAfee,
sports and
he's a
everything.
graceful, but he knows how to get his digs in times.
Dude, have you heard about when he got drafted? Like he was because he was a kicker. He was a kicker
Right,
in
punter, right.
college. And so when they interviewed him, they were like, "Hey, you know, can you punt?" And they're like, "Yeah, I can punt and everything." He didn't, and he goes or whatever.
You
He goes,
always
"Can you
say
can
yeah,
you hold?
right?
Can you hold?" Because he was going to be holding for Vinatieri. And he's like, "Can you hold?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can hold and everything." He did never held at all.
DJ
And
Reader
so,
watch.
So they drafted him, and And then that's when Vinatieri talked to him and actually asked him, hey, have you held him? He was serious. He goes, no, I never held in my life. And Vinatieri's like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, and he sent them to a camp. He sent them and paid for his camp to go send them to go and hold with some people and stuff like that for a couple of weeks and stuff. So before he ended up starting the season, but it's just kind of funny. He may not have been in the NFL if he hadn't lied.
Exactly.
McCaffrey must have took tips from Logan Paul. He's everywhere.
Jesse, I think the Giants should pick up the ex-kicker for the Baltimore Ravens who got in trouble.
Oh my God! Listen to you.
Really?
Justin Tucker?
That should be a Brown. Again, he should be on the Browns. They should be Hard Knocks.
Momo, did you get those nice cushions for your quarterback and for his ass?
Nah, I told you we're gonna win 12 games now.
That's not Madden, buddy.
No, this is life.
12 games. Your schedule's not too bad, Momo. We did it the other night. It's really not too bad. So I think the hardest schedules in the East is probably the Giants, followed by, I don't know, Eagles and Dallas are close. And then Washington has the easiest schedule in the division. So that kind of goes against me saying that I think they're going to take a step back. But taking a step back, if that means 9 wins,
that means 10 wins or 11 wins.
I mean, they could have more wins and then just be blown out in the first round or something like that. That's kind of like that.
I think Rob is on the 3 out of the 4. Rob, how many teams you say go out of the East? Do you think? All things being equal, we don't know with the health of the teams, but
I think it depends on the North.
If
it depends on the North and how they do. If Chicago actually is as good as people say they're going to be, but I think 3 could come out of the East.
I just don't see Chicago that good.
I like Chicago.
It's only
sorry, I'm on an
if Ben Johnson can get him going,
Right.
Hey, my question is, and this is like, I don't know when they're ever going to do this because now names are changing. I don't know how much rivalries are the same as they were before. When do they redraw these lines for the divisions? You know what I'm saying? Like, when's the NFC South actually the South? And when's the East actually in the East? Because we're the South and we're in the East. And you know what I'm saying? Like,
they want to get rid of the rivalries.
That would be the craziest thing.
That would be the way to do it, is if you redid the division.
Let's look at it. Yeah,
you would put Houston, Dallas, and New Orleans in one division with Tampa Bay.
It would have to be Dallas. It would have to be Arizona.
You see Dallas, Arizona, New Orleans.
The last time that they realigned it was back in 2002. Is when they realigned it.
God, don't mess
I would
with
hate
that, please. Please leave the divisions alone.
But listen, this is what the new people want. They want to make it easy for if you're in an easy division to rack up the wins and get buys, even if you don't. It's just bullshit. Like,
look at Brady and the Patriots for a while. I mean, they had the
This is where
Dolphins,
we're going. We're getting participations.
If Dallas gets that schedule like you just said, Brian, you guys are going to dominate that damn division.
But Jesse,
they're not going to do that.
Realigning division and just not realigning in the NFC to combine NFC and AFC.
That would be horrible. You tell me I'd have to play effing Houston twice? No way. No way.
And that's why they realigned it, is because of Houston back in 2002.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Houston and Carolina, right? Houston and Carolina.
Many years ago, when they realigned the division and they took St. Louis out of from the East.
The East, right.
What was the reason for that?
They relocated to the
they relocated and they put Seattle. They brought Seattle in, didn't they? Or wasn't it at that time?
Because Seattle was part of the AFC West.
Yes, they were.
Man, they were part of Denver Raiders.
I remember. I still remember.
Yep.
I'm gonna take it back. Back in
that shows my age when I start talking like that. Shows my age.
You could have seen the goatee, and all you could do was hear his voice. Now you know.
Right?
It's not something. Again, this is where we're going, though. Everything, I mean, I really want to take time. Maybe I'll do it, or I'll let somebody else do it and report.
No, you do it. You do it.
Well, I'm just curious about Dallas's miles that they're going to have to put. They're going across country a lot.
You're going to get freaking flyer miles, that's for sure.
I mean, just real quick, I'm not here to do wins and losses, but if you look at Dallas,
I remember who was.
Like, if you look, Dallas has to. They start off. Where we at here? Preseason. We start off in Philly. Okay, so that's a decent right? And then we come home against the Giants, and then we go to Chicago.
And that's why I mentioned that if you redraw these divisions, these road games in your division aren't all the way across the United States.
No, but that's part of the fun.
Yeah, that's part of the fun. Listen to you, man. Like,
and then it's all the way back to New York, right?
You go all the way back over to the east,
and then it's at Carolina, which is
God forbid, get overseas.
Home against Washington, at Denver, which is
way
it's not
over to the east.
Home, I'm just saying, at the Raiders, that's not bad.
Okay, a little bit west.
Home against the Eagles, home against the Chiefs, at Detroit. I mean, it seems like Dallas seems like they're going.
Dude, they might as well just live up there in a hotel up in that east, man.
At Washington,
right?
God,
Airbnb or something.
Airbnb, yeah.
At Washington, week 17.
Forget Oxnard.
And then you come home and then you go back to New York again. So it's it's just a lot of miles. I'd be curious to see how they do, like, who has the most mileage.
They probably got a Groupon, man.
Yeah,
I have a question for you on Game Time.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, here's the question. So I was there listening to them talk, Mark and Philly 500. And that one thing I was interested, do you feel, and any Cowboy fan feel like the Dak Prescott had lowered his expectations, or has he did more?
What do you mean?
Meaning that when he came to the league, he was a 4th round pick, right? 4th round.
Yeah, but once you establish who you are,
yeah, it's like that. So has he? Exceeded his expectation coming in?
Yeah,
now, or did the money he get?
He's injury prone.
No. He
did the
exceeded
money
my
he
expectation year one.
Has he underachieved?
He's underachieved.
Yeah,
because of the money.
Yeah.
Once he got the contract, the first contract, it voided the fact that he was a 4th round draft pick.
Right. So you think he has underachieved at this point?
Yeah.
He needs an NFC. He needs an NFC championship.
I will say this about Dak, though, and I'm not a Dak. I didn't want them to reach.
I'm not trying to say that, but if you're telling me that he underachieved, the answer is yes.
When we were 12-5 3 years in a row, Jerry got him no extra help. That's my problem. I'm not blaming Dak all the way, but Dak had some problems with San Francisco.
Dude, he had 8 All-Pros on that team. Come on.
But I agree with you.
It's never enough for Dak.
Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. It has to be perfect.
I don't mean you, Randy, but Dak had. I would say this, Rob. It's always seemed like. I don't mean to cut you off, Randy. I'll let you finish your thought.
No.
It always seemed like Dallas had a couple teams that was really good, but it seemed like they were not. It really wasn't a team. Like we look at, like for instance, you look at the Eagles last year, right?
Hot boys.
Well, you had a good offensive line, but yet you had a good defensive line. You had a good quarterback. You had a really good running back, really good receivers. Everything. It seemed like Dallas didn't have many options where they had a complete team. I would be honest. Maybe one out of those years they had a complete team, but still they were more than good enough to win more than 2 playoff games.
I agree.
So that's all I'm saying. There's a happy medium. I don't think it's all on Dak, but you asked me a question: is he underperformed? Yeah, he underperformed.
I would agree with Rob in the sense that once he got paid that money, the draft picks went out the window.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. That's for every player like that.
There you go. You have to adjust your expectations based on what you've done, right?
Just like Brock Purdy,
a force multiplier. You have to be.
Just like Brock Purdy now will not be Mr. Irrelevant. He'll be that new quarterback.
He better not be.
That's going to have to have a perfect storm. That's what for him.
Unfortunately, he does. He needs that defense. He needs a defense. He's one of those quarterbacks that needs a defense.
Don't they got a defense?
Yeah, no. Their past defense allowed, like in the playoffs, have been 30+ points every time, 40 points.
Well, Mark said it best. To your point is that we got to play with the lead. We got to play with the lead, and then we can unleash the dog. But it doesn't work that way, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah, you need to unleash the dog when it's not working. Yeah,
right.
Back in my day, it was Roger Staubach, and he played with a lot of. He was behind a lot of games and won them in the last 2 minutes.
Dak needs a running game.
Yeah,
Dak can't. Drop back and beat you consistently. And when I mean, you can win a game every now and again. Dak has proven he'll win you a big game in the regular season, but to do it week in and week out in the playoffs, That's where the issue.
Well, he's got Pickens
Welcome.
now, and the field is going to open up. I'm telling you, if he doesn't,
but just think about it. He had some good ball players that got space and back. I'm not here to critique anybody or criticize Dak, but he didn't do when he had the wide receivers and the tight ends. He didn't see the field like he should have. There was people open in the field, and he froze.
When was this?
The 10 years he been there.
No, you can't say that.
He did have a bad game against San Francisco when they lost.
Nobody was open, bro.
When the Cowboys lost 17-12, I believe it was.
Yeah,
two interceptions on the goal line. That killed us.
That
killed us.
Yeah, this team goes. This team this year goes by the defense. As much as I like the offense, I love the offense pieces we put together. It's all going to come and go by the defense, and if they can keep us in games, keep us in playoff, any of that stuff. Just because like we've had those times where we know like this high power offense just scoring 40 points, and then they come into the next game they can't score a whole quarter and a half. You know, your defense needs to keep you in that game in order for you to be able to start figuring it out. Hey, you know what? None of this is working. Let's just run and you just turn around. You know, if you get to that point, but if you're not to that point yet because your defense not allowing you to stay in it, it's not going to matter much, man.
You need a running game and a good defense.
Yes,
and what's going and also for the Cowboys this year is going to be 3rd down and 2, 3rd down and 3.
What do you mean?
Who's the running back who's going to give them that consistency of getting first downs on 3rd down, 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2?
Let
It's still a question.
Javonte Williams is probably the guy they're going to look at.
Everything's a question.
It's either got to be Mappa or
Javonte Williams. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, those are the 2 power backs.
Hunter Lepke. I like Hunter
Lemke. Yeah.
And then
again, you're asking.
I'm not the Hunter Lepke
bandwagon. It's May. We haven't seen training.
I understand it's May. What I'm saying that's the goal going forward, and then his play action. Is he going to hit? Because Dak has a tendency to underthrow balls and throw the ball high.
Speaking of Pro Football Focus, you know he's one of the better play action quarterbacks in the league when he has a running game.
When he has a running game,
yeah, that's any quarterback though.
I understand,
don't you think?
But I'm just saying, Momo just brought up play action. That's his forte. But I got news for you. Momo, if you're not running the ball, nobody's fucking, excuse my language.
Yes, I agree with you. That's the problem.
Nobody's going to try and stop the run. They're dropping 7.
Dude, I had some great running backs on my career.
We were the worst team in football last year.
Yeah, I want to hear from Phil real fast. Yeah, talk about your great running backs, Phil.
Man, when I was in high school, the greatest running back that I ever played with, his name was he came out of Naples High. He came out of Naples High. What's that?
I thought you were going to name somebody that we know.
No. Unfortunately, he went to college and stuff. Didn't really kind of. I didn't know if I really wanted to say his name and stuff once I started talking about it. But I'll say it. Dwayne Coleman. His name is Dwayne Coleman. When I was a senior, he was a sophomore, and that dude ran and like we won state and everything like that. He ran for almost 2,000 yards in that season. And obviously I got a lot of the attention on that one as well. But because that team had kind of not done anything prior to me getting there. And then when I got into college, one of the guys that I was running backs with, he was also a ultimate championship fighter guy. So later on he became like a UFC dude. And then in Oregon, I played with Jonathan Stewart.
Nice.
And obviously he played for Carolina and stuff like that. So Dennis Dixon, Kellen Clemens, all those kind of guys like that. So a lot of good running backs. And obviously that's what made it like, as much as I look back and go, yeah, I guess I did have really good running backs. And they kind of like, took that off when the play action was actually happening. They were reacting. And I can run then too. Yeah. Not now. Boy, I cannot run now.
Yeah,
well, my question is to Momo. Momo, you talk about the Cowboys. How are your Commanders going to stop the run? I mean, y'all lost 3 of your defensive linemen.
I don't know. I don't know. They bringing Brooks in. I'm disappointed.
It seemed like Dan Quinn's strategy right there.
Okay. Let me just say this about Dan Quinn, and I'm gonna criticize him.
Get him
to 10th degree. One thing I don't like, I hate players coaches. Players coach. Oh, he's a players coach. He's for the team. Stop doing that. Because players coaches are always going. They usually don't win a whole lot. They will win in the beginning, then stop to lose.
Yeah, ask Sirianni that, Momo. Ask Sirianni that.
Sirianni, he won the Super Bowl. Trust me, Sirianni will be out in 2 years. Because that team is not going to be the same team in 2 years.
I got to give him credit.
I'll be right back.
I have to give him credit.
Player coaches are not normally don't win.
You know how hard it is to be a grown-ass man and wear your hat backwards and it look good? Like, I got to give him credit, man. That actually looks pretty good on him, and he can pull it off. But, like, not many grown-ass men can do that. As soon as I flip my hat around, I'm like, okay, this does not feel right. This is wrong. It's so wrong.
But honestly, Phil, when he was our defensive coordinator, we never stopped the run. Remember,
never stopped the run. But that's what I'm asking is that because they got rid of Jonathan Allen, they Payne was almost out the door. Like these is this a strategy of his to get rid of big ass defensive tackles in the middle? Like
he likes smaller guys.
Let's go back when Washington had all those good linemen. They had one of the best defensive linemen. But they had no offense, no secondary, but their front seven was good. They started getting rid of them, get rid of all these players. And when they had the number 1 draft pick and they got the defensive lineman from I forgot his name.
Yeah,
forgot his name. He was really good, and he was good for that one season.
I'm trying to think of his name.
I'm trying to think of his name too.
Hainsworth. Albert Hainsworth.
No, it wasn't Hainsworth. He was a free agent.
They didn't pay a lot of money. He didn't do shit.
He played for Ohio State. He
was really good, and he had one game he intercepted the ball and ran it back. The defensive lineman, and it was
I know you're talking about, but he's something.
And then the game against Brady was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they almost pulled off the miracle. Almost won that game against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, man.
Before they ended up winning the Super Bowl.
I saw that game too. What the hell?
You got me. I don't know.
Because he was really good.
I don't know.
Because that was one of the closest thing we came to. That's when we went to the playoffs, and we had no business being in the playoffs. But we played Tom Brady. I forgot his name. But anyway, I just don't like. He's a players coach. I just don't like the word players coach because that means you could go and tell a player to come in and tell you, hey, I'm not going to do this today. I'm not going to do that today. Oh, we friends, we buddies. No, a coach is there to give you self-motivation and self-discipline when you ain't doing nothing right.
Well, that's what could hurt y'all this year because
Washington.
Is
that what it was? Adolphus Washington or no?
No.
He
played for Ohio State, but I don't remember his name. They picked him number 1.
Picked him number 1.
I don't remember.
You talking about Chase Young? No, right?
Yeah, he's
Chase Young. That's it.
Okay, I had mentioned Chase Young before. That's why it was.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
He's an end though, right? He's not.
Chase Young was good at the time, but what happened with him? He got big-headed.
Yeah,
I thought he said he was a tackle.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. That's why I went Hainsworth.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Sorry.
I thought he wasn't I thought you were defensive end.
He is an end. But you said tackle.
Young.
Young is a tackle, a defensive end. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he was an end. He's playing somewhere else now.
He plays somewhere else now.
He was in
New Orleans last year, and then he went.
You're right. New Orleans is where he's played.
Yes, New Orleans. That's right.
But Momo, in today's game now, these players are so they don't want to get yelled at, screamed at. Like the coach from Miami that got fired. He just sent to another team because they're complaining about him.
The one before McDaniels?
No. The other one. He used to play for the Eagles too one time.
Eagles. Herm Edwards? No.
Who are we talking about? I'm sorry, I missed that.
You talking about Brian Flores?
It was Brian Flores was one, but the other was another one though. I think he was in charge of.
It was Brian Flores. He was part of that team. It was Brian for Miami. That was Brian for the black coach.
Yeah. It was him. He tried to put him in old school, and they were complaining about him. That's why he got rid of him.
If you that soft, if players are that soft, and a coach is telling you something you're not doing right, because he's a great defensive coach.
Well, they said the same thing about Vic Fangio too. They didn't buy into the way he was doing things.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What's up,
That's
Ken
what I'm saying,
Armstrong?
that-
How are you, bro?
No, what we supposed to do is say,
What's up, Crowley?
hey,
How are
hey,
you?
can you please tackle, please?
That's what he wants.
Yeah,
I think you're talking about Fangio.
Yeah, I think it's Fangio, but it doesn't matter.
Well, vindication paid for itself. He goes up to Philly and wins his first Super Bowl ever.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't about him being a bad coach. They were just soft in Miami.
When I heard the coach of the Cowboys talking about the Cowboys had the greatest culture in the NFL, I couldn't believe it. He said that stupid mess. Why would you say y'all have the greatest culture and the culture y'all had was horrible that caused y'all not to win?
You know what makes great culture? Winning football games.
That's it.
We play to
You're
win
right.
the game.
I'm already tired of hearing about Brian Schottenheimer and how great everybody's feeling. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy. But if you ain't winning games, I don't need you to feel all warm and fuzzy down there. You know what I'm saying? I need you to win games. So
I'm with you, Brian.
at the
100%.
end of the day, I love Shoddy shots. I have my new drop for Shoddy. Where is it? I know I have some here.
I'm gonna make a shoddy shot glass like that little bitty
please don't
sport
do that.
on Toy Story and stuff. Just a little.
That's my
Here's a little
shoddy
shoddy
shot.
the shot glass. You know, like.
I know what Shoddy reminds me of. Know what he reminds me of? Of a used car salesman. Trying to sell you something that you know is a lie.
Wow. I don't know that that's the case.
Dude, he's just talking. He ain't selling you anything. He's talking.
He was the offensive coordinator for Mark Sanchez, and I think he took him to 2 AFC Championship games. Now he didn't win them, but I don't know what we got in Brian Schottenheimer.
None of us know.
I'm interested in finding out. How's that? We have a lot of interesting things happen.
TBD.
To be determined. Schottenheimer.
Yeah, I mean, for a team that when a coach comes in, you have to get your personnel in order. I mean, they tried really hard to at least switch some stuff around to at least give him a chance to be competitive.
Now I remember the coach was talking about D'Amico Ryans.
You know, I'm more excited about the assistant coaches we got this year.
Is he in Miami? Never knew he was in Miami.
Yeah, he interviewed as well for something like that. It was like, yeah, he was. Let's get the clean. He interviewed and then he sued or some shit like that. Yeah. It was with Flores.
He still got a lawsuit with the NFL.
Well, he was a Philly linebacker when he played.
Brian Flores.
Never, and then he went to San Fran.
Houston. I remember him being in Houston and stuff like that.
Well, he's still there.
He's a great defensive
he was defensive coordinator,
coach.
and then it became coach.
Because a head coach, when you're a head coach in NFL today, is different. I think NFL head coaches, you have to navigate and do a lot more. When you're a defensive head coach, offensive coordinator, or defensive coordinator, you primarily doing one thing. The head coach is doing so many things.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if it's more of like a Walmart, you got your manager, you have system managers.
Of course,
on their own,
Of course.
and there's going to be a lot of stuff that they're doing that he's not going to be involved in, even though he probably wants to have his hands in everything. But it's going to be hard.
So I was joking around with Mark, and he had posted that thing about I forgot the lady's name, saying, we on Washington, it's America's
You're in
team.
the hopper,
I'm joking.
Crowley. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I was joking around with it and stuff like that. And I was like, why we even entertain? This is, who cares who's America's team?
I just think it's funny that all the teams try to just say that. And they're just again, I'm not trying to poke. I'm not trying to poke and say that we are or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to say there always seems to be one team every offseason that does this shit.
Green Bay.
Of course.
You the other night, Momo said you're America's team.
I was joking. I was trolling you, Brian.
You're gonna make T-shirts and everything.
Momo said the Commandos are America's team.
I think the next closest thing to America's team was the Patriots when they were winning.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
that would
Patriots.
make.
I know this is going to be clip baited, and I'll be a public enemy number 1. But I mean, what's the symbol? Ultra. What's the biggest symbol for America? the flying eagle, the eagle, right?
So why is Ocha on my?
So like if we're being technical, but again, the only reason this whole America's team was media driven. Again,
Actually, Jerry Jones.
They're the most.
No, actually,
it was long before Jerry.
No, the America's
It
team
was John Facenda who brought it out
John
on one of the NFL
No,
films.
but who started? Who really propelled it? I understand, Randy, what you're saying. Who propelled it? It was the NFL Today with Irv Cross, Brent Musburger, and Phyllis George. Phyllis George was Miss Texas or something, and she won a couple pageants, and she was just a pretty face. And she went up there to interview these ball players, and she had a pretty face. She had a flat ass. She had nothing going on for her but a pretty face. So at the end of the day, she promoted.
But you had enough ass for both of you, huh, Momo?
You can't be.
You had enough ass for the both of you,
You're
huh?
gonna have a bunch of females protest in front of your house.
I thought she was a nice looking woman myself.
Brian, on the serious note,
I said she wasn't a good looking. I said that she had a good looking face.
Hold on, what, Rob?
So, quick question. Since Momo brought up Mark, and I don't expect you guys to speak upon Mark, but I was curious your guys' thoughts on. I watched a couple of his videos, and he keeps saying, he's talking about week one. He's like, Philly doesn't, I think Philly's at a disadvantage because they don't know what to expect from us. It's a new coach, new offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. We have the, one up because they don't know what to expect. I've heard him say it on Phil's show. I've heard him say it on a couple of videos. But I can't wrap my logic around that. So, can either one of you give me some insight on that perspective? Because I don't get it, and I don't think it makes sense.
That's a fan perspective.
I don't see
Randy,
how.
I'll give you my thoughts, but
yeah, I will as well. Go ahead.
I honestly believe that Mark is hoping for hope. I mean, honestly, when you look at it across the board, Philly's playing. That's their ring night. They got everything to play for. I don't see how they can have an advantage. I don't think there's such a thing as an advantage because we don't know who's going to be playing. Hey, Hurts might be out. He might get hurt in preseason. You don't know what's going to happen.
I think Rob's saying,
too many variables. There's way too many variables. We say something.
Knock on wood, nobody gets hurt. I'm
not. But I'm saying that you just don't know what's going to happen between now and then.
Yeah, go ahead, Phil. Get in there.
When I look at it, you're going into it hoping that everybody is healthy. But let's be real about this defense. Like, I love the offense a lot. Again, I love the pick in, CeeDee Lamb, opening up the field, all that. But again, where's Diggs going to be? Where's Bland going to be? Where's Overshown going to be? Like, where are these key? Where is Ravel going to be? Like, where are these key guys that are our defensive core starters? Where are they going to be, man? They're technically not supposed to be back until week 2 or 3. So for me, I don't see us being in full force as of right now. I don't see us having a full team together. And so it's going to be hard for us to come out there and go to their home court, really, let's be real. And they have a lot of their team still together, and let's be real, their core is really good. So I think it's going to be an uphill battle. Yes, is it possible? Yes, but if I was to put my mortgage on it, that would be it.
His question was, does Dallas have the advantage?
No.
Any sort of advantage?
They do have an advantage in the sense of their offense, but it's not in their defense.
Here's my thing.
But not over the other offense, sorry.
No, I agree with you. Again, I don't want to dampen nothing. I want to get the excitement up at a fever pitch. This is what we're all looking forward to. Not just the Eagle game. Not just the Eagle game, but the fact that we get to kick off our season in prime time against the Eagles. On the road, I love it. Now, in saying that, there's no way you're going to go on the road in Philly at the Link and say you have any sort of advantage when you're going. Yeah, there is. I would say the only advantage you got is
we're healthy. Hopefully,
that you're healthy and Dak. It's not an advantage. You're going on hostile territory. Right, with a lot of new faces, I don't see I don't see an advantage.
And Brian, going on what you're saying right there, because you're coming at it like, what type of preseason did you play? Did you even play any starters? Did you do any of that stuff? Like,
exactly. That's where I was getting at with it. You nailed it. That's exactly what I was.
Yeah. It's not.
I'll let you finish your thought,
Yeah,
but I.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's cool.
I agree with you though. That's what I thought. I was looking at it like, well, you don't know. We don't know as an Eagle fan or an Eagles player, personnel, whatever. We don't know what to expect from Dallas.
Yeah,
and that's their
the
advantage.
narrative is
But
we
does
know
Dallas
what the Eagles are going to do. They're going to run the ball. They're going to come after the quarterback.
Right.
So,
right.
Like, I mean, you're going to drop 7. You're going to rush 4. Even though I think you could, switch that up, and I don't think it's going to be the exact game plan based on personnel this year necessarily, especially in game 1. You can switch it up, but yeah, I know in theory what he's saying, but I don't agree with it in game 1. Now, again, everything. I mean, they could be hitting home runs that first game, and everything is clicking, and that's great. That's still a possibility. But if you're saying there's an advantage, I would say
I think the only advantage that they have compared to other games is that you get to practice for this game longer.
I mean, I hear what you're saying.
That's
Ultra
about
does
it.
say
But they both have that
film
same
on
thing.
this coaching staff. Nobody has film. I get what Ultra's saying, and that's kind of what Mark's saying is you don't really know what we're going to do. Right. So I agree with that. But I mean, in the grand scheme of an advantage, I don't know. That's
well.
Tough.
A question I have for you though, real quick, Momo, just really quick, please. A question I have for game time and prime time, or anybody really, just whoever wants to chime in. But does Dallas really even know what Dallas is going to do?
I think Shoddy does.
They're still gelling. They're still learning. They haven't played a snap together. Let's be realistic. They're not going to play much preseason together as far as these starters and everything.
We don't know.
Going out game 1, is Dallas really know what Dallas is going to do with?
See,
again,
I personally
whole new offense.
I personally think that I think the starters will play. I think the starters will start to have their regular motion. You go out for a series, you do that kind of stuff because. Again, Shoddy being from where he was at previously, where the Seattle Jets, he's done that where they, again, that was the head coach deciding that. But either way, he's used to it. His dad did it, So it's like, to me, it seems like in his head, the formula to it is put your players out there and get them ready for football.
Hey, Rob, I disagree with that.
I was going to say Claude Hunt hit it up and said that Dak hadn't played football in a while. And it's a very big ask of him right off the bat when he comes back. So
let me say this real quick.
By 14:59, your both teams will know what's going to happen.
Okay, here's the thing, everybody, as far as NFL teams. Starters do not play preseason games. They just don't. This is the NFL today. They do not play hardly no snaps in the preseason. There are more injuries in the first 2 to 4 games in the season because nobody's getting used to the body getting hit. They don't really hit each other in practice. When they scrimmage, they do more walkthroughs than they do hitting. So end of the day, none of these players, even the rookies, who's going to start for the Cowboys or the Eagles or any other team, they're not going to do a whole lot of physicality at all.
Well,
so you're going to see more injuries.
I mean, I think and in saying that, I think there is an avenue for Dallas to come out and play great. But I'm not going to say honestly, I'm not going to say they're losing or getting blown out. I mean, if I'm just not prepared to go there yet. I haven't seen nothing
Brian,
yet.
You're correct, man. There is a formula there that shows
there is
success.
A formula.
I can see it. I can see that
formula,
but
the avenue.
You need things to fall into place.
But if you're telling me an advantage, I'm not gonna say
you're
right.
Right there.
Here's the one thing that I want to say is on the first 2 or 3 games of the season, your defenses are ahead of your offenses. Okay, that's where Philly has the advantage.
That's kind of
their defense is a lot better than our defense, and that's where they have the advantage. Your offenses aren't going to score in the first game or 2 or 3 that like they would normally score in the 4th, 5th, or 6th game because let's face it, they don't play in the preseason. So your defenses are going to gel early.
Those first 2
I
games
agree
are
with
going to be
Ultra.
preseason.
I agree with Ultra's comment here. Again, if you're going to look at numbers and do stats, Eberflus in year 1 of every defense is phenomenal. So, but I don't know that that's going to translate in game one. But Daniel M. Eberflus stops the run everywhere he goes. That's a fact. That is something that's not just talked about. That's what he does.
Even as he brings it up, I mean, he brings
but
up
I don't
Clayton
know that
Adams.
it's going to happen in game one.
I love Clayton Adams. I love that whole thing about bringing possibly, having him come in because that changes the whole dynamic of our offensive line. I felt our offensive line coach definitely weakened our offense.
He did
for the past couple of years, and I was,
And I feel weird saying that because it feels like a cop out, Phil. But I feel this. We've already talked about it, right? We have. I mean, it's our offensive line coach has not been good.
And your ex-coach didn't help either.
Just look at Philly. You see what a good offensive line coach can do. You could take a Jordan Mailata, who was a 7th round, and, oh my God, we got a diamond in the rough. No, the coach had a lot to do with that, which is why I was against a first-round offensive lineman. As it worked out, fine. We got Tyler Booker. This was an interesting draft where there wasn't a lot of top-end studs, so fine, go with Booker. I don't have a problem with it. But, you need your coach to be able to find and make these guys better, like a Tony Wise did back in the 90s, the better offensive line coaches. So we got to hope that Clayton Adams can have a great training camp and we can run the football. If we're not running the football at all, if we're not running the football, it's going to be a long season.
Man, you see that? Do you see that, Brian Joe right there in the chat?
Brian Joe.
Joe Tranchina.
It's Tranchina. Yeah. What's up, Cowboy Nation? Watching from Italy. Nice. Joe Dude.
Nice.
We're in Italy, brother. We're at.
Dulce Vita.
He must be in the Air Force.
Are you in Sicily? Shout out, Joe.
Living a Dulce Vita.
But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. It's been a long day for me. And let me just tell everybody, the post office ain't what it used to be. Keep your kids away from the damn.
No, nothing's what
As a matter
it
of
used
fact,
to be.
I got to get back to Rock. Texted me. I don't know if anybody remembers early on. Rock from Dallas. I got to call him.
Yes, I remember Rock.
Yeah, I think
the cooker, the barbecuer.
Yeah. Where I have to call him as soon as I'm done before I fall asleep. I got to eat something. But it's been a lively Statland you. All right, Bill Cosby coming from Alcatraz or so
no
says
touchy,
Trump.
No touchy, Bill, no touchy.
I appreciate everybody, even you, Drew.
And let's go Knicks. Let's go Knicks.
So you're a Knicks fan, Momo? You had to end it.
I just think I want to win the championship.
You and Ultra are two peas in a pod. You
Let's
live in
go Refs.
Sicily. Very nice, Joe. Very nice. You a Cowboy fan, Joe, or you an Eagle fan? I'm waiting for Joe. Look, we'll get out of here after we find out if Joe's a Cowboy fan or an Eagle fan.
He's a Giants fan.
You give him a drum roll there, Brian?
They're gonna throw us for a loop.
Yeah,
G-Man,
like the Browns. We should have hard knocks.
Oh, he's a Packer fan.
G-Man.
He's a Packer fan. Is he?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh.
No.
G-Man.
I would imagine he'd be a Cowboy since he is in Italy. He's on a Cowboy channel. He said Cowboy Nation. I'm gonna go, and my detective skills are saying Cowboys.
He hasn't responded, so I mean he's a Washington.
He probably Texas fan.
Yeah, exactly. Go Houston. Cowboy fan. Boom! There it is.
Hey. My condolences, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
There he is.
Oh, he knows.
There you go, Joe.
I'm not gonna do this today. I'm not gonna do that.
So how was he talking about talking? I was doing
He must
an Asian film?
Ultras.
He was like, we're gonna fight.
He's living. Fight. Let them fight.
God.
He was living.
Go, Shawty. Anyway,
Yeah,
all right,
okay, Tom,
everybody.
you gotta record that one.
Y'all have a good night.
Listen,
You too,
first,
here,
before we
guys.
get out of here, Joe, everybody who's not already subscribed to Prime Time, Phil, I got his
Thank you,
channel
man.
at the top.
Already
Please.
subscribed, man.
I know you are, but
I
everybody
appreciate it.
who's not, Joe Tranchina.
I'm getting to 2,000. I'm almost getting there. So.
Yeah, subscribe to my guy at the top, Primetime Phil, ex-Oregon Duck, a quarterback, a co-host with Game Time Brian on my channel, and on Primetime Phil, where you get all the bells and whistles, not just our pretty faces. Robbie, thank you as always, brother. You are a very, very kind, bro. I definitely appreciate your contributions to the show and your $20 super chat. So thank you so much, Rob.
Anti Drew.
There you go. You're in a hopper. I got to get more Eagles shit. But all right, everybody. I appreciate everybody. Again, until we knock them off, they are still the Super Bowl champions. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. All right. So we need to, I'm not going to hide from it until we bust them. If we can't bust them, then it is what it is. But all right, everybody, I am out of here. Let me go eat, and then I got to call back my man Rock. I'll talk to everybody later, all right?
Later, guys. Have a nice night. Peace out.